Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forge Alliance Forever. We're watching a ladder game. ThomasHiatt is playing. He's Aeon and we're on point of reach. Thomas is up against someone we haven't seen on ladder in a while. That's Turin, better known as Turin, son of Zaki Mion. Turin always changing his name up, and I never know what any of them refer to. So yes, point of reach. Turin has a kind of a strange build on this map, from what I remember. So maybe he'll do it again. I mean, yeah, yeah. You see what I mean by a strange build? I think you do. So yeah, quite unusual to walk so quickly on this map, not go to the hydrocarbon at all. We'll see how it works out for him compared to Thomas's build, which is more normal. First engineer to the hydro, second engineer expands, takes maxes, and quite a lot of trees. I don't know if he really needs these trees. We'll see once he gets up to here. Will he be overflowing power, or will he actually need that power? Maybe we'll see. But for now, we do what we always do. Get the hydro as fast as possible and then get an air factory quickly after some more power generators. Get a transport maybe as the first unit, second unit. Probably in the first 5 units anyway. Some inties, scouts, you know, normal island stuff, because we have to expand and take at least 2 more islands to be, you know, likely to be in a situation of parity. So we got a scout, transport, scout, and then 62 interceptors, a very precise number of interceptors. Turin maybe misjudged here a little bit. He's going for, yeah, I say misjudged because this lab is really early. So he's gone for, he went for 2 B-gens quite quickly, right after the factory. Thomas didn't, went straight for the hydro. So he has, called this 10 B-gens total. Hydro gives 100 power, the 5 pigeons give 100 power. The lab is super early because the transport is coming after 3 inties and 2 scouts. So could have delayed it, could have gotten another engineer out faster, which would have been good. But for now, he's scouting and he's missed the transport of ThomasHiatt, who's headed to this island with his transport and his engineers, and he has 6 units on board. One of those is an Aurora. Very good to bring a tank with you on these at the beginning of these games, because if you both drop to the same side and one of you has a tank, then, well, the guy with the tank is simply going to win that island. There's almost no way around that. You get 1, 2, even more engineer kills, and it's not possible to fight there because build power is the king. If I can build 3 factories and you have, you know, 1 factory, simple maths there that anyone can do. So Thomas builds a factory, sees that there's nothing here, and now picks up a couple of those engineers to expand quickly to this other island. So initially he dropped everything here to make sure that if there was a fight, he would take it on. But in fact, he thought there was no fight coming because he didn't see anything. And now suddenly Turin drops. He's got the lab, so he's got a 1 lab ghetto gunship here going after this engineer. Another decent idea, instead of bringing a tank with you, is to bring a lab. And then, oh my god, the bomber just killed all of the engineers. And that means there's no... Yeah, it's just not happening. This fight is over before it starts. 5 engineers were not split, and the bomber came in, just one-shot all of them. There was a chance here, because, I mean, if we look, the ghetto killed... The ghetto, which is now dead, killed this engineer. It killed an engine. No, that looks like an Aurora. But we can see there's only one factory, one engineer here, one engineer here. So they're split up, so they can't build factories together. If he had just split the engineers, I think Turin had a good shot at doing damage. I mean, it wasn't a certainty, because, you know, Aurora could come across from this island. There could be, again, the bomber would have killed, we'll say, if it kills 2 or 3, it still could be an even fight, potentially. But, yeah, Turin just lost that all because of that one bomber and not splitting his engineers. Almost took advantage of Thomas with a really weird late drop there. That's what put Thomas off, because he took his units, or his engineers away, which is what he needed to defend himself. And now we're going to have a competition over this island. Turin dropping with 6 engineers. He needs to take this island. It has to be done. There's only 4 engineers dropping for Thomas. What are they going to do? Maybe he can try and build a PD. That's exactly what he's doing. PD goes up, and yeah, Turin turns around and starts making one of his own. It's critical that you don't stall in these scenarios. This is one situation where stalling is absolutely the end. Oh no, he gets the PD up, and now he's targeting the PD from... He's targeting Turin's PD. I think he should have targeted the engineers there. I don't think he should have fought against the PD, and now somehow he's not hitting the PD when he was before. That's absolutely bizarre, I gotta say. But the factory wasn't finished, so he had a chance there to kill all the engineers, Thomas did. And then something very weird happened, where he was hitting the PD and then he was hitting the wall behind it afterwards. Was that because of... Did that change happen when this PD got a vet level? I need to watch that again. I'm definitely watching that again after, because that is... I need to see if that happened when the PD got the vet, because that would be just the most bizarre thing. Anyway, Turin gets the island. At this point, it's, you know, it's gonna be real tough to take it off of him without like an immediate drop. This transport really took its time leaving as well, it's got to be said. He could have been back on the way back to here and tried another proxy or something like that, but doesn't look like it's gonna happen now. Turin dropping around. He has a gesture. I think that was to help him out at this island, but for now it's just taking some damage. Also, we have 2 T2 mechs already and 2 halfway upgraded for Turin. He is ecoing pretty well. Thomas, however, with the superior map control, the better expansion, is behind on T2 mechs, but ahead on mass generated and total. Some missing mexes here for Turin. He's got most of this island now, and he's adding some naval factories. Some drops. It's always great to drop around these islands after this initial battle. You want to pick up more engineers, drop to each of these mexes, even the middle mexes as well, because, you know, faster expansion, more mass, and you will expand way faster with the transport to these very spread out mass extractors. Got some units coming up though, so maybe it'll be a unit drop. Obviously this is the most common place to drop units, and we can see Thomas actually builds. He usually does this. He builds a factory here, starts building artillery out of it. Maybe he builds tanks sometimes, I'm not sure, but people do this as protection against drops, and also he can use these artillery at some point to make his own T1 or T2 transport drops. Also parks his inties here. It's a good idea to, on any map, to have your rally point for your interceptors set to a place where they're actually going to defend something. So this is a great place to park your inties on this map, because this place is a popular dropping spot. T2 air for Thomas. We're going to speed it up a little bit. This Jester is not traveling fast enough to shoot at the frigate. It's like it has an attack order and then it just doesn't catch up. But yeah, now it's caught up, and looks like he'll kill the frigate. A lot of potential raiding here. Aeon frigates have a little bit more range, so they can even hit certain frigates that other frigates cannot. This gunship, however, just wasted Torrent doing a good job with 2 inties. He loses a mech, but losing 1 mech for 1 gunship, he will be happy with that. On the other hand, though, another gunship arrives, and this has done a lot more damage. 3 kills already. It's going to kill this mech now. And it's going to take longer to re-expand here. And the gunship's still alive. We also have a drop coming in. Artillery. Frigate sent in this direction. 2 versus 1. Oh, and we also had a drop to the front here. Again, where I said there's going to be a lot of drops. We have 2 dead mexes from that. This gunship continues to just kill a lot of mexes. These are serious raids it's doing. You can see the power of this Aeon gunship killing T1 mechs in 2 volleys. That is quite a good raider of mexes, gotta say. So we got some Swifties out for Thomas now, and actually T2 Navy already. That's pretty quick for T2 Navy on this map, I would say, given that it can be very air focused and also eco focused. But Thomas not ecoing too hard. You can see we have 6 T2 mexes. That's not a huge number. What he is doing is making T2 Navy raiding with gunships. You can see Torrent, he has T2 air as well. 6 T2 mexes. Sorry, 7, 8, 2 more coming, and also storages. So yeah, Torrent more on the eco side, and it doesn't look like he's planning to make T2 Navy right now. Just making a lot of frigates. And he's taking a lot of damage here. He's missing half the mexes on this island. He's missing both of the 2 islands in the middle. They're also providing some nice radar coverage for Thomas. Torrent should be raiding those. They're very easy to raid with, just with frigates. So, yes. Bit of a raid coming in here. Oh, artillery drop to this island where we've just had 4 mexes upgraded and some storages. And these fervors have so much damage output. Thomas coming in to crush air completely. Looks like he's going to succeed. Whoa, that's a clown car that just spit out so many inties for Torrent, but I still think he's going to lose with these. There's like 5 or 6 swift winds in there. They're going to make a difference. Oh, but that's a really bad move order from Thomas. But still, he has so many Swifties and they're healthy. They are going to win. Yeah, you can see this. The micro potential for these Swifties is pretty good. And the real secret to them is to repair them. So like at this point, it might be time to fly away, because he's lost all his inty buddies. Oh, he's actually going to lose all the Swifties. So that fight went a lot worse than it should have. That was definitely a winnable fight, but there was some bad moves made there, and all the Swifties are gone now, and a lot of Inties, and it's all in the water next to Torn's base. On this side, though, Torn made a good defense. I mean, he lost a couple of mexes, but his torpedo bombers have done decent damage, and he stopped the Auroras and frigates here pushing in. So again, more reclaim for him. His island looks worse and worse. He's actually lost 4 more mexes now since we last checked. Looks like the destroyers are doing some good work, but now that there's no air control for Thomas, he has to be fearful of the torpedo bombers. There's no anti-air for any of these ships. They don't have anti-air on the destroyer. They don't have anti-air on the frigate. So, yeah, here come the torpedo bombers. And you do not want to lose these 2 destroyers. They should be retreating already. Some gunship raids. A lot of frigates for Thomas. Getting good trades there. Oh, yeah, you really don't want to lose these on the shore as well, next to Torrens engineers coming out of this factory. Some Inties come in. The torpedo bombers are not defended as the Inties got distracted by the transport, which they also don't kill, as Thomas now tries to steal mexes from this island, not only just kill them. First destroyer goes down. Second destroyer is under attack. Look at the homing missiles from these torpedo bombers, switching targets flawlessly. And that's going to be 2 dead destroyers. Ouch. And that's one of the reasons why I said the T2 Navy was so fast, because I mean, it's very vulnerable once you lose air. Those expensive T2 ships can go down with great speed. That's a sonar. Now there's another expensive building. 1200 mass. It's gonna die. Oh, he flew right past it. 17 HP left. Gunships look like they're being wasted. Oh, he's coming back for it. Oh, that hurts. 1200 mass killed. And also a drop to the front of the island. We have Mantis here to defend, but they're gonna be a bit late to the party. They should... Will we get another shot? Yes, there goes. So 4 mexes go down. I don't think any of them are upgrading. Got a lot of economy here. More mexes being upgraded. So Torrent just trying to... He's taking so much damage, but he constantly is upgrading his economy. Thomas looks in such a good position right now. I mean, although he lost... Wow, he actually lost 3 T2 ships here. I assume they're all destroyers. He did lose them all, but he hasn't given any of that reclaim to Torin at the moment. He should be working on... Yeah, he's getting a factory here. That should help him get some, if not most of that reclaim. And that's going to be critical. T2 Navy is up for Torin in this position over here. Very far from his main base, which could be a problem. He actually has very little production near his main base. A lot of transports coming in now, and they have varying numbers of artillery on board. This one is empty. The one on the right has like 4. The other 2 look to be full of fervors. And again, the island takes even more punishment. AM frigates actually able to easily hit the hydrocarbon, which is nice. And the destroyers going after the buildings deeper into the base. But I don't think they're going to be able to push. That's a lot of frigates ahead. The drops. All these freshly upgraded T2 mechs just goes down. Torin has T2 on his commander. 75% T3 mechs. That's insane. Sky Slammers defending with their ground attack. Nice multi-purpose unit. Yeah, this is a significant naval force, so that should be defended. Over here, a lot of frigates from Thomas have gotten all the way to the base and used their range to actually hit both of these T2 power generators. Half the T2 pigeons are dead. A huge amount of reclaim left. Let's see, what, 6k on the screen. Let's take away 2k for, you know, Torrens units, but like big damage, but a lot of dead frigates. A lot of frigates invested to do that damage. So I'm not sure. We'll see how worth it was. And over here we have another fight. The cruiser, Aeon cruiser, under attack. Torren cleaning up a bunch of frigates once again, but again suffering damage for it too. And that cruiser may escape. Looks like it will. It's out of range of any of the T2 bolts. There's actually only one destroyer here for Torren. Thomas dropping units, but there's a lot of factories here, so I don't think these engineers are going to be able to do much. Still a lot of reclaim for Thomas to grab. He's built this factory, which is great, but it's not being used at this point. Whoa, how is this cruiser here? That's really strange. But it is dead now. That's a juicy amount of mass. That's another... Oh, yeah, that's the T3 sonar. Expensive unit. What is this fervor doing? Well, it's targeting a mechs behind that cliff over there, but it cannot shoot it. It has a bit of a bug. It's to do with the elevation. See the way it's like slanted? It sort of stops it from shooting for some reason. So this T2 mechs survives for now. Oh, the worst possible engagement for Torren here. There's a lot of destroyers. 4 destroyers here. And the destroyers are going to could kill these frigs with torpedoes alone. Massive air fight. Torren looks to be flying away. The torpedo bombers are flying away as well. Falling out of the sky. Oh no, now they're landing. Torren just crushing air though. There are some shards here doing a bit of damage. Not much though. Not too much. But here comes a destroyer. Oh no, the T3 mechs. The T3 mechs is under attack. This is brutal. He's gonna need 2 shots. One more shot. Oh my god, he killed the T3 mechs there. Where's the torpedo bombers coming? This destroyer is lost though. We're just running into the base. This one is doing insane damage. And over here, as I said, the greatest engagement ever for Thomas. And we go back there and, well, there's no frigates left, so clearly the destroyers killed everything. This destroyer is killing all the mass extractors. 3 T2 mechs and a T3 mechs. That's just so sad. Look at the damage on some of these destroyers as well. 3,700, 2,500. This one, 7,300, and now it goes down to torpedo bombers. Hang on a sec. 1,400 damage. 1,500 mass killed on a torpedo bomber. 1,500 mass. That thing costs 270 mass. So, you know, the damage is being returned. But now the eco damage is brutal to Torren, and still he's down to no mexes on this island. Has been for a while. Has now had to invest in a lot of T1 factories here to make sure he takes it back, but the air is doing insane damage. It's saving him from a huge number of frigates and destroyers that he cannot match. Hasn't matched at all in this game with his own navy. You see, this seems to be most of his naval force. And it's, yeah. Thomas now taking this reclaim. This factory is finally switched on. A lot of reclaim on screen. 11,000 over on that side of the map. Turin's gonna have a lot of reclaim from this, his own dead stuff. This was T2 as well. That's being reclaimed. So much reclaim. Even in this one screen, there's 11k. Oh, that's because of the T3 mechs. But look at all the... Oh, this mech finally did die. And it looks like that artillery moved. So I think it did it. Meanwhile, in the middle, the shards are really not protecting against the torpedo bombers at all. It has to be said. Thomas needs flak. Oh. Oh. Okay, that's one way to win air. Gee, the cruiser with the frigate weapon it has is murking inties because they've landed, which is crazy. And still Turin's winning air. He is completely out of fuel with half his air force, but yeah, look at all those dead T2 ships here. A lot of them. Turin looks to be taking control of his island. He's made a lot of T1 land to do it, a lot of T1 factories, but he is taking back the mexes. Maybe he can also get, you know, a lot of this reclaim on his side of the map. And Thomas, meanwhile, I mean, he's very low on the storages. He has a lot of T2 mexes, but not a lot of storage, mass storage. So he probably needs to work on that a bit. Another cruiser is dying. We're seeing random cruisers in weird places dying. That was a T2 factory actually that went down. I wonder, that must have been killed by all these frigates which have a lot of damage done. And Turin now has replaced his T3 mechs in a safer position where it's probably not reachable by a destroyer. I mean, maybe it'd be close. But he's making a second one now. Second living one. Third one total. And in terms of mass, I mean, oh wow. Turin 20,000 mass ahead in reclaim, but about 20,000 mass behind in total. So 40k generated mass more for Thomas, and a lot of Turin's reclaim is from his own dead stuff. So you know, it's not all the great reclaim where it's just, you know, reclaiming your enemy's dead units, which is the ideal reclaim, but he's reclaiming his own dead economy. Not as valuable. More of a cost to that. But Turin does have a much better kill ratio. Probably, oh my. Look at 3,000 mass killed. These cormorants are just not dying. Okay, these are all fresh ones, but this one has been alive forever. 3,000 mass killed. Full veterancy. Wait, it has one kill, it says. What? Only has one kill. So in the old vet system it would have no veterancy whatsoever. But in this one it has full vet. Because it's done 3,000 mass worth of damage, so that's kind of hilarious. The sonar has been replaced. I feel like, you know, we're getting T3 mexes up. It might be time to get some T3 economy going. T3 power economy. And Turin's making T3 in his ACU. It's gonna take a while to make that upgrade. Few minutes if he's not stalling. So okay, some torpedo bombers from Thomas now, but they're not going to get many passes. He still can't win air control. Looks like we have a lot of engineers drop. That is so many torpedoed. I would advise not doing this, just by the way. But that's a lot of torp defense. Scuttles, they're called. That's a good name. And yeah, he's getting a bit of a proxy naval thing on to get engineers quickly to the reclaim. That would be the main thing. And also he can add, well, 50 torp defense, I guess. And maybe some frigates out of these things once he has enough engineers to reclaim. Thomas with a ton of destroyers, though. A ton. Well, probably literally many thousands of tons, given the scale of the game, but that's a lot of destros. He's microing back and forth, dodging a lot of fire from the Salems. The Salems are scared. They have to run. There's not enough frigates here, and the frigates that are here, you can see they're going to die quickly to, you know, frigate fire and the torpedo damage of the Aeon destroyer. There goes the Salem. Oh, the sonar platform should be a target, a big target. 1200 mass there, more than half a destroyer worth, and it only has a low HP. Another air fight. More torpedo bombers coming in to try and save this, but there's a cruiser which has 4,500 mass killed now in the middle of this bunch. Finally it goes down to the frigates, and Thomas looking like he doesn't have so many destroyers anymore. Oh my god, he actually drove into the he just lost more than half HP on the destroyer. Just got absolutely killed by this absurd row of torp defense. It still hasn't paid for itself, but that's a lot. It did so much damage there. Thomas once again tries to take the island. It looks like he's taking it back, and Torn is reduced again to this island as he makes a quantum gateway. He has 2 T3 mexes. He's still alive in the middle of, because simply his inties are unkillable. They just refuse to die. And Thomas is reduced to just 4 destroyers now, 5 here in the front. He had probably a dozen versus a lot less than that. And yet he's pushed away. He's pushed away. What he needs is flak. He needs hover flak. There goes the T3 sonar as well. RIP. T2 land, shields, and hover flak. This is what defends him against the air crush. But he hasn't gone for that. And he's pushing in again with these destroyers. They're simply going to die to torpedo bombers for free. It's just T1 land war going on here, but it's Mantis versus artillery versus frigates versus cruisers and 2 stealth boats. Is very strange. And I mean, yeah, there's just more and more torpedo bombers arriving, and they're going to kill everything. There's another cruiser shows up. That can be one shot by... You see, if you have some shields on these cruisers, they become absolute beasts. Like, one shield will double the HP of that cruiser. But without that, it's going to die to 4 torpedoes. And but still, Thomas has, you know, a whole extra island more or less. How's he looking on T3 mexes though? He's got 1. Very few storages on his main island, however. No storage also on the secondary island. Although full T2 mex needs to maybe defend those against some frigates. But yes, what is going on here? Torin is making support commanders. So he's started another T3 mex upgrade, and he's getting massive amounts of reclaim. Just massive. He's still building 1,000,000 torpedo defense, which is... Let's see how much mass he spent on these. Oh, 15,000 mass in T1 torp defense here. That's where we're at. You do not build lines of those small defenses. Like, if I drag, like, you know, you see some people say, oh, I need to defend from air, and then they drag a line of this, of, say, T1 anti-air. There's thousands of mass. Thousands of mass. And it's even worse with T1 torp defense because they're so expensive. 450 mass each. So he's just spent 15,000 mass. He spent 7 destroyers worth of mass. He spent over 3 T3 mexes. Well over three T3 mexes of mass on those T1 torp defense. And most of them have done 0 damage. The vast majority have done nothing. So that's insane. And here I see an SCU. One thing to note, the water is really shallow in this map. It's a Rambo. It's a Rambo SCU. What's he planning for? Another air fight, and Torrent wins because his inti's just, I guess, must do 50% more damage or something. He wins the air fight. Like, he has no anti-air support. He has one cruiser that didn't do very much either. He just, his intis don't die. His cruisers die though. There's so many destroyers still from Thomas, as he's just had more mass income this entire game. 14 destroyers. And he's pushing in, but will he get any reclaim? Like, look, all of this was full of dead ships. 97,000 reclaim for Torrent, 30,000 for Thomas. The difference is huge. Thomas has also lost this again, thanks to the cruisers and things that came from the side, and also the many T1 ships. A lot of air staging as well. I like that. That's pretty good. So Torn just can patrol his units here. Here comes the Rambo preset. He's making harms. That was almost finished and it's been destroyed. That's the best way to get rid of harms, is to, you know, kill them as they're under construction before they sink to the bottom. There's 2 Rambos here now. These forward torp launchers actually did get a lot of damage done. And now Thomas is losing everything because there's just so many frigates overrunning him. Destroyers getting surrounded. There's a dead cruiser. How many cruisers have you seen die like that? And dead sonar most likely. Torrent just pushing forward. Does not care. He's pushing forward, and then off the back of that, he can easily have time to get up harms. Can probably make the next one even more forward instead of backwards. Another air fight. Looks like Torrent may actually lose this, although here come his reinforcements. No, Thomas is doing a move order. He's actually going to lose air again, horribly. That's for sure. We have 3 Rambo presets in the water now for Torrent, and they're making harms. Now, I think I know why he made Rambo presets, and that's because they have the nano regen, so they have 400 per second health regen, which is huge when you're underwater because torpedo damage is a lot lower than direct fire or things like that. All torpedo damage is basically lower, and things under the water generally have less HP. So when you put a Rambo SCU under there, or any SCU that has 400 per second regen, it's going to be extremely difficult to kill them with submarines or torpedo damage from destroyers even. You would need so many destroyers shooting at once to actually overcome that regen. So really the only option is to like snipe them with a lot of torpedo bombers at once. He's making more. He has four Rambos. The other thing, he has a Rambo. He could just walk to this island and kill everything. There's nothing that could stop that, and there's nothing he can build here that would stop it. He doesn't even have T2 tech. And Torn is just pushing. he built these harms to defend and push forward, but he's actually already just crushing and pushing forward with frigates. Thomas is retreating against them. It's crazy. So he can make he can make harms way further forward now, and he's constantly taking reclaim. Look at all the engineers in the water taking reclaim everywhere. He's at 136. He's reclaimed 40,000 mass in just a few minutes there. And there's more to take. There's still 30k in the water and around the screen, mainly in the water. It's taking back this island again for the 15th time. And T3 Navy for Thomas. He's got 3 T3 mexes here. Adding more storages. Adding storages. The storages are, well, they're late. But what's going on with Turin? He has 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 T3 mexes. That's a lot. Turin is ahead now on generated mass. The naval control is pretty sick, and he has T3 Navy. Finished. He's not making T3 ships out of it. Probably by accident, but he does have that factory, and the Rambo is heading to the land. He could also, I mean, I assume he could walk to this island and do some serious damage as well with all of these Rambos. I mean, the difficulty is once they get out of the water and they're under attack from battleships and destroyers, they're going to die a lot faster than when they're underwater taking, tickle damage from, torpedo DPS. But so instead he just walks forward, makes harms. So he's queued up 3 of them, and he's going to build factories, and once again he's just going to push forward, take the reclaim as he goes. A lot of engineers on standby, and these battleships are nice. They're going to do huge damage. They're really good units against T2 and T1 Navy because of their fire rate, turning, their speed and damage and HP. They're just really good unit. But he has to be able to kill the harms. He has to torpedo them or ground fire them. He doesn't have missile cruisers to do that, to ground fire them with, so he's gonna have to do it with the battleships, or he probably does not want to make a torrent, I don't think, to take them out, but that's an option. One thing to note, Cybran SCU's stun with their shots. It's pretty good. So he just captures all the PDs. That's pretty nice. And starts building a SAM. Wants to protect this SCU. It's very expensive. Wants to protect it against air attacks, gunships. See that 6,000 mass? Let's see. He has 6 of them now. 6 Rambo SCUs. And still only has, just, like, his navy is nothing. 30 frigates, 3 destroyers, 4 cruisers. That's his navy. And he's up against 4 battleships at this point. 7 destroyers. Multiple cruisers. Because he has these harms and just the constant relentless frigate spam that never ends. Here's a lot more frigates coming in. And Thomas feels like he has to run away from the frigates. He just gets pushed back. The harms go up. He gets pushed back. He's lost. There's all of this reclaim. He's up to 153,000 reclaim now. This entire island has died to the Rambo preset, and now the Rambo's gonna go take these mexes for himself. Take the reclaim. These are all T2 mexes. Should probably get a fracture up really quick. Shield, more anti-air. Thomas is under so much pressure. And he's just behind. Well, that's a dead destroyer. Does take a T2X with him before he goes. But, okay, now we have battleships for Turin. There's a battleship. I always hated this position for an HQ because the travel time is so long. Like, just, it's like, it must be twice as long as, say, going from here. Just because you have to travel all around the side. very slowly. So yeah, this Rambo takes the island, and now Turin is ahead in map control. After all this time, he's finally ahead in map control. The harm's pushing away the battleships. He needs to ground fire. The thing is, when you're ground firing, you have to stand still, so he can't dodge anything at that point. He can't run away from frigates or anything, so... But he has to do it. He has to take out the harms. He has actually done a lot of damage to this one. I don't know if that was before or after it was built or completed and sunk into the water, but he has done some damage. But yeah, the just constant push forward from Turin again. Imagine he just comes up onto the island, and if this island starts taking damage, then it's got to be all over. I mean, right now it doesn't look too great at all. That's a pretty good raid, but again, losing some T2 mexes at this point, not as significant as it was before when Turin didn't have, you know, 8 or 10 or 12 T3 mexes, whatever he has now. He has 10. That's pretty good. Oh, an aircraft carrier under attack. Somebody's reached the unit cap. I'm going to guess that that's Turin. Yes, it is. How many engineers do we have? Yeah, I mean, 350. Just about 350. And a million T2P gens. A lot of ASF. And look, he's pushing. Where did the Navy go for Thomas? Did he lose his... Oh, Thomas making a Tsar, and that's been spotted by the frigates. How's that for scouting? Oh my god. The Tsar taking damage from frigates before it's even constructed. Thomas with no upgrades on his commander as well. No RAS. Turin also does not have RAS. Or stealth. Stealth would be, I mean, essential at this point. If you don't have... Oh, this Rambo's been forced off. Here's the Navy from Thomas. He's actually run the whole way around here. He's got 4 battleships here. He's got cruisers with him. He's got destroyers. He's just abandoned the naval battle. Here's some Rambos. Ah, that was probably at least a T2 radar. That might have been an Omni that just died to a PD here. Torpedo bomber is parked behind enemy lines, gradually being reclaimed. Some powerful engineers. Oh, another Rambo makes landfall, kills some factories, gets a SAM up, which immediately has 2,500 mass killed. Not bad. Oh, dude, imagine he just walks the Rambos up onto the island, onto the main island. That would be sick. But this... the Tsar is just about finished. Strap bombers coming in. There's no shield here. Ouch. Killed all the mexes and all the reclaim from the mexes. No shield. You gotta be shielding those. And both the strats are gonna die. Oh, will it get one more bomb? It will. Wow, 7,700 mass killed. This thing's been on missions. The SAM starts hitting the cliff, so it gets another pass on 200 HP to kill the reclaim. Damn. Okay, the Tsar is up. The battleships are heading towards the main base. They've already started firing on the P-gens. Actually, there's only one T3 P-gen here. Oh, it's being reclaimed, so that'll avoid the damage. The explosion. T3 air HQ is going to go down. There's a ton of torpedo bombers. I don't know what they're attacking. They're all going to way overkill this destroyer. And Thomas looks like he's going to lose his ASF here, which is extremely bad for him when he has a Tsar. Just on attack move. You can't lose these things, and he's actually lost a lot of ASF there. Here's a Tsar. I don't know where it's heading. Oh no. It's just in the middle of nowhere. The base is getting annihilated by these battleships and destroyers. And the torpedo bombers have been killed, but I mean, over here we have 3 more T3 Pigeons, so power is clearly an issue, but not that big an issue. Not one that can't be solved. The Tsar is under attack from all these ASF. Oh, he's not gonna save it. Oh man, he's lost the Tsar. Right next to all these Rambos who are now also building SAMs. Look at all these SAMs. I think he took a lot of damage from some of these SAMs, or at least some damage. And now his main base is dying to a battleship destroyer. And it looks like Thomas is, well, he's killed almost all of this base. He hasn't killed the HQ, which is a really bad move. He definitely should have killed that HQ. But now there's 4 battleships have arrived from Turin, plus the torpedo bombers have no counter. And Thomas calls GG. Well, that was quite a crazy game. I can't believe Torn went for the Rambo SCUs. Like, what the hell? I mean, Thomas was in such a good position. These initial harms didn't even need to do anything, which is the craziest part. But Thomas just got torped for the entire game. That's really the issue. The shards kind of sucked a lot, gotta say. But he needed to make... This game would have gone a lot differently with some hover flak. You know, hover flak, it might take a little time to kill torpedo bombers, as most units do. But the thing is, you can't torp them. That's the best part. They just don't get torped, unlike your cruisers. And but yeah, insane game. Very well played by Turin. I love the Rambo strat. I only wish they could have gotten onto land more and not just been, you know, water boys. But still, they did a great job. And Turin did a great job. Here's the real story. Just under 200,000 reclaim for Turin. And only 64k for Thomas. 3 times, more than 3 times more reclaim. So there we go. Nice one. 53 minutes, a long one on point of reach. GG. Thanks for the watching. And thanks to these guys for, you know, providing some content. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time, guys. Have a good one.